So also, it wasn't just our group, obviously, that did the pitch in front of the degree students. Other people in our media group did as well, and I just wrote a few notes on what other groups did that maybe we could sort of pick up on as well and sort of go into more detail with. So basically other groups that did things well that maybe we could improve on. And basically I was looking for originality, genre indicators, narrative techniques slash hooks, characters and the theme, and basically like how well thought through these things were. So the first group were making a film called The Shadow in the Lake, and they really thought this through really well. Like they even had The Shadow in the Lake 3 times but in 3 different fonts, and like we hadn't even thought about the font at that point, so that's really given us something to work on. It was really original. So that obviously they had added extras that they're already thinking about the titles. But in my opinion, I thought they were trying to include a bit too much in 2 minutes. But the narrative hooks were conventional to the opening. And yeah, I think that film is going to be really good. And that was a psychological thriller, I think. The next film was Some Secrets Cannot Be Revealed, and I think again that was a psychological thriller. Most people felt that the title was quite long. Like it's not like a short snappy thing like Some Secrets Cannot Be Revealed, like it's quite a mouthful. So I don't know whether they're going to change that, or I don't know. But you can play on the main characters, so throughout their film, and so using their characteristics throughout the film. And they thought about doing flashbacks, so they've thought that through really well, because obviously that's a convention of a psychological thriller, that obviously the character's like taking itself back to like a certain time. And the last one was by the Lady Killer Productions. They haven't got a film title yet, so they're not actually sure what they're going to call it. But yeah, they were focusing on time in their film, which is a good narrative hook for an action, because obviously time is a crucial thing. Like obviously, like it's a very fast-moving thing, very fast-paced to it. But they need to put the plan at the start, like, because they were saying about taking people as hostage, and like, but how they're actually going to do that, because otherwise the audience, it might confuse them, and they won't know where the film is going either, whereas quite a lot of people want to know where it is going to go, where it's going to lead to at the start, so they need to do that really. But they know what they have to do in order to make it an action film. So as I said, like fast edits and like violence and guns and things like that. But yeah, they're starting the conflict straight at the start of the film, which obviously brings the audience's attention like right at the start, which I think is key for an action film, because it keeps you hooked from the start and makes you want to keep watching. And yeah, that was all the other groups. And they all, I think the main thing was they all had the convention specific to the genre they were doing, which is obviously the key thing for when the audience is watching the film. And straight from the start they know what sort of genre it is and like what to expect, which is obviously like one of the most important things. But yeah, from that I think we need to think through a rom-com like narrative hook, because we don't really have a hook at the moment other than other than a girl popping up on Greg's phone. But yeah, and with the titles as well, which is a really key thing. We need to do that and think about colour and font. But yeah, that's about it.